when agents start to work, best practice is for them to start the day. However, if they forget to do this, that's not a big deal, because as soon as they enter to a ticket, we're going to start the tracking automatically, okay, as you can see here. So all of the information that we track here, this is going to be translated, let's say this way, to admins. And all of the tracking that agents are going to be, let's say, the activities that they're going to be tracked for during the day, admins will be able to see it on the agent activity page. So why this is important and why it's relevant for today as well, because the activities that agents might be tracked, specifically tickets, you're going to see this like this. So you have, for example, in this case, Jasmine, we see the ticket number and we see that this ticket is part of voice. So this voice, in this case, this is our workstream. So Workstream is the base of the tool. This is what is going to define the activities that agents are tracked for, because this is how you segment your ticket work, okay? So in this example, in this demo account, we have voice. So we have this per channel, but you can see that we also have tier 3, tier 1 workstream, success, tier 2, chat. So there are so many ways that you can segment your work. The important thing is that it fits your needs, okay? But just keep in mind that this is the base of the tool, setting up the workstreams, and it also, workstream is 100% related to tickets, okay? So agents are not going to see here, for example, if I am on a ticket, so let me just go back again, yeah. So agents are not going to see if the ticket is part of a specific workstream, but admins will do, okay? As an agent, I know that I am just working in my ticket, and that's all. Then something else that agents can be tracked for is general tasks, which we will also discuss today. So general tasks are activities that happen outside of ticket work. So workstream is everything related to tickets. General task is activities outside of ticket work. And then the last thing that agents might be tracked for is on-track time. So this is when they are not working in any general task and they are not working on tickets. Again, when I, as an agent, if I click on a ticket, I'm going to be tracked for this ticket. If then I go back to my ticket views, I'm not working in any ticket and I haven't selected any general task. So I'm going to be on track. So I'm not working in any ticket. This might be idle time. This might be agent waiting for calls. This might be agent just not having work to do or not doing anything. I like to think that they want to work, but they don't have work maybe to happen. But this is why on-track time it's important. But probably it's going to be this is the red. So when you see like a red big line, probably this is something like this, but the whole night. Probably this is because the agent, they didn't end the day. So what it means ending the day is that if I am here, I have to end my day, because if I stay here and I just sign out, that's not enough. If the agent sign out from Zendesk, that's not going to be, that's not going to stop the tracking, because the tracking will keep counting. So most of the time, this is what happened. Agents, they forget to end the day, they just sign out from Zendesk, but they don't end the day. So for us to stop the tracking, or agents to stop the tracking, they have to end the day. We know human error, this happens a lot of, this is very like common. So what we have in place, or what admins have available, is something called automations. So automations is a way that you can, there are some actions that are triggered based on time. So we have an automation, so you can set up an automation saying that if someone spends more than, let's say, 3 hours in the state of on track, or any type of activity for more than 3 hours, then you can select the option to delete automatically those 3 hours and clock the user out. So end the day of the user. So just to give you like more visual here. So you have here automations, and these are the automations. So these are triggers based on time. So for that specifically that I told you, I think that by default, you should have one. but this is like for new accounts. By default, you have an automation for 3 hours to delete or to end the day of agents when they spend more than 3 hours in the same activity. But if you don't, the way that you can create this is like this, let's say on track time. And then I can say this is normal. And this is the way that you have to think about when you build your automation. So I'm going to say that if someone is in on track time for more than 3 hours, and I'm saying 3 hours just because, for example, for me, it wouldn't be normal someone with more than 3 hours on track time, okay? But you can select maybe 6 hours if you want to just make sure that it's like definitely they are not working or this is not part of their shift. So you can click here, 6 hours, let's do this, and then actions to perform. So you have clock out the user, delete the timesheet, and end the day. So this basically means that the user is not going to be anymore in on-track time. We're going to end the day automatically. And then since we know that those 6 hours that were tracked, the agent was not working, it's just because he forgot to end the day, we're going to delete those 6 hours. So this doesn't screw your reporting on productive or unproductive time. So I hope this makes sense. And then you add the automation. And then important thing, if there is an ongoing activity at the moment that you set up the automation, that's not going to be applied for that ongoing activity. Okay, this is going to be applied for only activities that start, let's say, from the moment that you set up the automation. So another point that it is important that now I remember, so agents, they need to install something called Quicktab extension. It is extremely important for them to have that. This is a Chrome extension. And why this is important? Because sometimes agents, they have multiple Zendesk tabs open on their browser. And this, it's not good for accuracy of the tracking because in theory, and also in practice, agents cannot be working at the same specific time, looking at the same ticket, because they can only be working in one ticket per second, minute. So that's why we have the Quicktab extension that prevents agents to have more than one Zendesk tab opened. So as an agent, I can have multiple tickets here because if I go to one, I'm going to be tracked for this one. And then if I change to this one, I'm going to be tracked for this one because I'm only looking at one ticket at a time. But if, for example, I have multiple tabs open here, that's not good. And that if they have them, probably that's going to affect the accuracy of the tracking because if we have those two opens, probably the tool is not very, let's say, like, how can we recognize which one is the one that the agent is really looking at? So that's why the Quicktab extension is important for agents to install that. So we can prevent for them opening more than once in this tab. So if you can see this, I will do this. And if I do this, it's just going to close that option. Okay, so this is because I have the extension installed. So the extension, it's this one. So yeah, it is important for agents to have this extension installed. So coming back here to the agent's activities. So again, we're going to see here all of the activities and the time that they are working on each type of those activities. So now, let's talk about Workstreams then. So to find the Workstreams, you have here organization structure. And then if you click here, you're going to see Workstreams. Another tip, in case you are agile, more agile than I am. So you can also, let's say that you're here in the agent activity, you can press Command K or Control K and type Workstreams. And then voila, we're going to take you directly to the page. So if you are like more agile than me, feel free to do this. If not, again, organization structure and then Workstreams. So here we are. So what do we have here? So in this case, to create a workstream is here. And then you're going to have this option, workstream. And basically, as I mentioned, so workstream is how we read your ticket information from Zendesk into the tool, okay? So what we need to do is basically first is decide how I want to segment my work. So there's no like good or bad or something that is wrong or something that is better. This has to fit your needs. And then what you have to think about is, what do I want to report on? So how do I want to report on time spent on activities? And also to set up the workstream, something that I like to like suggest to think about is, what do you want to forecast and what do you want to schedule agents for? So again, why this is important, I'm going to show you as well here the forecast page, very quick without getting into too much details. But here you're going to have the list of your work streams. So we're going to recover historical information from this. So again, why it is important to think about this, because what do you want to forecast on? Do you want to forecast on type of channel? Do you want to forecast on, let's say that in your organization you manage different languages, different markets, different line of businesses. So what do you want to forecast? What do you want to understand from like here, from a year from now? Do you want to understand, let's say, when it comes to languages? Do you want to understand how many people you're going to need for French, French-speaking, let's say, customers, or with that skill? So you can think about this as well, kind of like a skill. But if you are still not ready and you're like starting with the tool, probably the best thing that you could do is segment this by channel, okay? And it's very important that whatever the segmentation that you decide to do, the first one needs to be channel. Why? Because we have different staffing parameters, and each of these staffing parameters are basically the SLAs. So each channel, I will assume that each channel has different SLAs, right? So going back here, so the way that you can do this is, so you create here a new work stream, and then you're going to have here this, I'm just going to do one from 0. So you have here work stream name. Let's say that this is going to be email. And then you have here the conditions. So this is how you're going to let us know what are the tickets that are going to match the conditions of a work stream. So how do you identify those tickets? So we have different conditions. The first one is the channel, once again. So this is the via type. So we have 3 via types, basically. So we have tickets via type, channel via type, or voice via type. So chats via type, this is what you're going to use if you're still using the legacy version of chat of Zendesk, okay? If you already transitioned to native messaging, you're going to find under the all tickets via type, because this is a via type. I know it's a bit strange, but it is what it is. So you're going to find here native messaging. Okay, so if you're using already native messaging, you don't select all chats via type, you select native messaging. So now I am basically here in this work stream, I am saying that all of my tickets are, or like the tickets that I want to put here are from native messaging. If I want to add another condition to segment this more, this is where you're going to use the meet all of the following conditions or meet any of the following conditions. So I'm going to click here, and then you will have 4 things that you can decide to segment a bit more. So that's going to be ticket group, ticket tag, brand or form, okay? So if you ask me, it's simpler probably to use group, brand, or form, just because tickets can only have one. If you use tag, it's as well 100% possible and feasible, but you might have to think a bit more about, okay, what are the tags? I have to make sure that I don't overlap some tags. So that's why, if possible, if you can do this like using groups, brand, or form, good. If you can use tags, you might need to be a bit more careful to decide which tags are going to be part of this, etc. Okay. So let's say that for this one, I want to do ticket group is, I'm going to do billing because that's what I have here in this demo account. But in this case, I'm basically saying that I want to put together chats and or native messaging, and I want them to be only for the billing ticket group. Okay. So every time that you set up here these conditions, you're going to click here, and you're going to see how many times in the last 30 days tickets match with these conditions, meaning that how many tickets had the group billing, and the via type native messaging. Something else that you have to pay attention to is, so we're talking about setting up different channels. So that's when it comes to native messaging and chat. Now, when it comes to email, you're going to see here all tickets via type, but then you have to be careful if you're also setting up the native messaging. So since native messaging is an all ticket via type, what you will have to do if you set up already a workstream with this native messaging via type, then you will have to select here on the ticket via types everything else, but not native messaging. Because something that happens commonly is that maybe you say, okay, yeah, all my emails, so all tickets via type. But if you have already another workstream with native messaging, we're going to overlap the conditions, because an all ticket via type native messaging, it's part of it. Okay, so in this case, let's say if you have already that one, you will have to select here one by one. And then just FYI, you're going to have here all of the via types that you have in your Zendesk account. So the list that you're going to see here is going to mirror what you actually have in your demo account. So in our case, we only have like this 6, but you might have more, okay? And then, yeah, so that's for tickets. And again, you can then decide to use meet all or meet any, just like as well an FYI. All this means that all of the conditions that you set up there needs to be present on the ticket, and any, it can be one or the other, okay? So this is particularly important. Let's say that I want to match here, I don't know, let's say that you want to match 2 types of ticket groups that are going to be part of this workstream. So in this case, since tickets can only have 1 ticket group, so you will add them under any. Because if you add here 2, let's say ticket group is, let's do this, and then I add here ticket group is, yeah, there you go. So in this case, you cannot add, a ticket cannot have 2 ticket groups. It's only going to have 1. So in this case, you will have to transfer these conditions to any, okay? Because you want to capture tickets here that are from this ticket group or the other one, okay? Makes sense? And then good recommendation is every time that you set up your conditions, you can always click here on the preview, so you can see and think like, okay, yeah, this seems accurate to me. Like this is kind of the amount of tickets from these tickets via type that I will receive in the last 30 days. So yeah, I think that's it on one side. And then something else that is super important to clarify. Tickets matching the conditions. So you're seeing this here. This is not the same as tickets created, okay? Because sometimes this is something that I will like not advise you to do, but I'm going to mention it anyway, because I know that some of you will do it anyway, but it's compare the tickets matching the conditions with the tickets that you might have created in, let's say, using Explorer. It's normal that it might be different, okay? Why? Simply because Workstreams, the tickets that we see here, it's tickets matching the conditions. This is not the same as tickets created. Why? Let me explain this a bit better. So let's say that I have tickets that are going from one workstream to another. So let's say that I have ticket tier 1 and I have ticket tier 2. So ticket tier 1, the ticket is going to be initially, or this work that is going to happen in this ticket type. I'm going to just add here this. So I'm just going to leave without saving, but tier 1. So let's say that initially my tickets are going to come here. So I'm going to have tickets matching these conditions. If a ticket that matched this condition initially, let's say that it was escalated to tier 2, now this ticket is going to be part as well of the tickets matching the conditions here. Okay, so that's why first that might be different, that might differ, because for example, in Explore, that's going to be 1 ticket, but in here, since there's work happening in different level of skills, you're going to have then the ticket match the conditions in tier 1, and then it's going to match the conditions as well for ticket tier 2. And also just with the same example, let's say that this ticket goes back to tier 1. So the ticket will match again the conditions of the tier 1. So you might see that the same ticket might match 2 times the same work stream. Okay, so this is normal because this is the way, it might sound strange, but it is the way that we capture work happening in each of these type of work streams. Okay. So I think, yeah, that's related to Workstream. It's also good to, because I heard this a lot, this question is like, Workstreams are 100% related to tickets conditions. It doesn't matter the agents that worked on this, it's 100%, when we're talking about conditions, it's 100% related to tickets. It doesn't matter if agents are assigned to a workstream or not. So just to explain what this is, basically the agents that you're going to see here on this option, you will have to add agents to a workstream, but this is basically to let us know, or let the tool know, that this agent can work in this type of ticket. So I might have a specific agents that can work in tier 1, and then I have a specific agents that can work in ticket tier 2, or French, or billing, or whatever you do, or however you decided to segment your work streams. Okay. So again, agents that you add here, I can add only 1, or I can add 100, and that's not going to modify at all the conditions of the ticket, okay, or the conditions of the work stream. This is for scheduling purposes, because like knowing that you have 27 agents available to work in tier 2, we're going to consider this when we are generating the schedule, okay? Something else to clarify, because this also, it's a question that I receive a lot, is, so let's say that I have agents, that a group of agents that is assigned to tier 2. When it comes to the agent's activity, agents can still be tracked for whatever the activity that they are looking at, or the ticket that they are looking at. So for example, I have a group of 10 agents that is assigned to tier 2, but that doesn't mean that they won't be able to see tickets from tier 1, or other tickets that are part from other work streams, okay? Because tracking is one thing, and then tickets matching the work stream is another thing. And then agents assigned to a work stream is scheduling purposes. Like when you are setting up the work streams, it's normal, I will say, like at the beginning, it's going to be like a work in progress, because sometimes, even if it sounds like, yeah, no, it's easy peasy, but sometimes, especially when you're using tags, sometimes maybe there are tags that are being triggered, it can be a bit messy. So I will say, like at the beginning, there's always like a work in progress when it comes to Workstream, because you might have tickets that agents are working on that we are not capturing on the Workstream, because those tickets don't have the same conditions that you already set up on the Workstreams. Or you might also have something called multiple Workstreams. So let me explain that very quickly as well, because this is part of the validation, let's say, process that goes after, or that comes after the setting up the conditions of the workstream. So I think I have an example here. So just to summarize, in case it was a bit strange, my explanation. So you set up the work streams, right? And then the way that you can validate if those work streams are, let's say, matching tickets, or tickets are matching to those work streams, so you set up correctly the work streams, is that if you set up correctly the work streams, you're going to see something like this. So you're going to see each ticket being classified and being part of the specific work stream, but it's 100% normal that you might find as well this. So you might find as well no work streams or multiple work streams. So no work stream is when we don't have this ticket, is not matching any of the conditions that we have on the work stream. Okay, so the way that you can, let's say, fix this is you can click on the ticket and see what are the conditions of this ticket. Okay, so this is via messaging, and this is part from the tier 2 ticket group. I can also check here the events and understand a bit better as well what are the conditions of the ticket. And then check my workstream and understand, okay, so I don't have any workstream with messaging via type, for example. So I know already that that's why my ticket is not matching the conditions. So, well, probably we have in this demo account, but it's a demo account. But this is the way that you can check why it's not matching. So no workstream, I will say that it's easy to troubleshoot, because you just have to find out what is the condition that you're not including on the workstream. And once you find that Once you find that, you will have just to add that condition. That might be a tag, that might be another ticket group, a via type, etc. And then the other thing that you might find it's as well in black is something called multiple work streams. So multiple work streams, this happens when you have the same, you have your overlapping conditions, meaning that the way that you set up the work streams, you are capturing the same ticket. So one ticket is falling into two work streams. It's matching two work streams. So in that case, what you have to do is you have to find out what is the condition that is overlapping and remove that condition from one of the work streams. Okay, just to make sure that, like, refine the work streams. Okay. So I hope that was clear. At the beginning, it's 100% normal that you're going to see some no work streams or multiple work streams. And then once you troubleshoot that, let's say that if I change the conditions of my work streams today, I'm going to see changes reflected on the tickets just from today. The past, it will always look like no work streams. So don't be scared if it happens that in the past you had those multiple work streams or no work stream, okay? Because from now on, from the moment that you change the conditions, it's going to look like that. So it's going to apply to the correct tickets that match the condition. Okay, what else can I say about this? I think that's it. Yeah, when it comes to work streams. So it's a working process at the progress at the beginning. I would like to show you something as well that you can do very quick because I don't want to take too much time on this. But another way that if you find that you have a lot of tickets with no work stream, a trick that you can do is you have the reporting tool and you can potentially create a report. I'm going to do this, no work stream. And then you can select here the metric ticket time. And then you have here the attributes. So how can I see what do I want to see? So I want to see activity type because I want to understand from like what are the work streams of the activities. Then I want to understand, let's say I want to see the ticket group to understand what are the ticket groups that are not matching a condition of the work streams, or it might be as well ticket via type. So I'm going to select ticket via type for the example, but you can use ticket group or ticket via type, or you can select, let's say, ticket via type, and then you select ticket group here. I normally like to do here ticket ID because I can see straight away what was the ticket, you know? So I'm going to do this for the example. So this is what I meant. So I have here my tier 2, 1, and then I have no work stream. So if I click here, I'm going to see that the tickets that are not matching the conditions of my work streams is because the via type is native messaging. And then if I click here, I will see the tickets that have this via type. So this is a way that you can troubleshoot no work streams, okay? Cool, so I see that we're running out of time, so I'm going to quickly explain what is general task, which is also, as you remember, so it's part of here of the options that agents can clock in. And these are usually activities happening outside of ticket work. So workstream, 100% tickets related, general task, everything that is not ticket related. That might be other activities as well that agents can do. Let's say they have to check a specific platform. So you might create a general task to track that activity. So how can I set up my general task? So again, you come here and then gear icon, general task. So you're going to have here the list of general task. Probably if it's the first time that you see this page, you're going to have nothing there. But to create one is you click here on the plus sign. So I'm going to do here webinar. And then you can add a description here. This task is for when agents need to attend webinars for training purposes, for example. And then you have here other settings. So we have team permissions. So this is like who you want, like which agents or which group of agents, teams are going to have visibility over this general task. In this case, I'm saying that all of my teams are going to have this general task available here on this list. If you want to restrict or you want to, this might be good. Let's say that this is a general task that is only for senior agents, for example. So you can create a team called senior agents. And then what you will do here is that you will select, let's say, these are the 2 teams that are made with senior agents. And then now not everyone is going to have this general task available on their drop-down menu. It's only agents that are part of these teams that are going to see it. Okay, so this is what it means, the team permissions. I'm going to put this back to everyone. And then you have the colors, super important this session because you want to make this like a great harmony. And then I suggest that you don't use colors that are similar to your work streams. And also don't use red or black because red is on-track time. So you don't want to confuse the general task with on-track time. Also, this applies also for the work streams. And you don't want to do this black because you will think maybe that it is a work stream. So select whatever the color you want, but don't select red or black or a similar color to what you already selected on the workstream side, okay? I like this blue. So then you have the occupancy settings. So this is going to be related to how you measure this task. Is this a productive task? Is this a paid task? So, for example, if I click here, this means that it doesn't matter the time that agents are clocked into this general task. When it comes to reporting, this is going to count as productive time. And if it counts as productive time, this is going to count towards the occupancy. Okay, so if I don't want this to be part of the agent occupancy, then you can toggle off this. And then this means that this general task is unproductive. Okay, so here I think this will depend as well, like what productivity means for you. Because we have some customers that for them, productivity is 100% related to tickets. And even if there are some activities that are part of the training of the agents or activities that contribute to their work that they can do in tickets, they don't consider that productive time. So this is something as well, like you do as it works better for you. But like, you know that you have the option to set this as productive or unproductive general task. And if you set this as productive, it's going to count toward the occupancy. And then you have here, if this is a paid general task or not. I think this is mostly for lunch and breaks. So I think in most countries, lunchtime is unpaid and breaks are paid time. So probably, let's say for lunch, probably it's going to be unpaid and unproductive. So I'm just going to show you here. So So it's going to be, so it's unpaid and it's not productive. If I click here, I'm going to have this option, but if I do this, I'm not going to even have the option for that to be productive, okay? And the last thing that I wanted to show you as well from the general task panel here is that you have the option, if you're using Zendesk, you will have the option to, let's say, every time that the agent changed the general task, how that's going to affect the talk state. So let's say that I want to say that whenever the agent select launch, the talk status is going to be set to away, so they don't receive calls. Okay. So something else that you might be interested in is, so we have something called URL tracking. So this is to track websites. So this is to track activities that can be mapped, okay, through a website, through a link, for you to track activities happening outside of Zendesk. For example, let's say that I'm an agent, right? And I need to check UPS. So the way that you can track this is through this option. So this is what we call extension tracking. So this is currently on early access program. So if you would like to have this available, you will have to sign up the form and then our team can approve, okay? So once it's approved, basically the way that this works is from one side, from the admin side, you have to set up a general task. In this case, I have this one, UPS work. So I'm setting up this general task. That's the step one. Then you will have to go to extension tracking. And here is where you're going to add a website to a general task, meaning that if as an agent, I look at this page, my tracking is going to show as UPS work. Okay. So I'm just going to show you very quick. And then this is from the admin side. Then from the agent side, they need to install another extension. And this extension is what they will have to have here. And I will have to start the tracking every day in the morning. So whenever I go to this page, for example, I'm on this page and now I'm being tracked for UPS work. I think this is, oh, yeah, there you go. So now all the time that I spent on this page is going to be recorded as UPS work because I map this website. And this includes not only the first page, I can go to this page as well, and I'm still going to be tracked for UPS work because it has the initial URL here. Okay, so this is super cool. This can give you a lot of insights about like how much time they spend in other platforms, to understand better. I don't know, maybe they work in another, I don't know, let's say that they have you have like social app or social website that agents can reply to comments or reviews or whatever. So you can track the time that they spend on that. So you have a better understanding of how they spend the day and the activities that they do. Okay. So yeah, there you go. So I'm being tracked for UPS work. So yeah, so I think that's all for today. If feel free to reach out to support if you would like to get in touch with our team, or you can also as well, if you have an account team and you need help with the tool or you have questions, you can reach out to them and they will reach out to our team, and then some of us are going to, like someone from our team, we're going to assist you.